every app owner or admin needs an admin dashboard to be able to look at your data and process your data. I tend to sit with my dashboard open on most of my apps most days. How do we build this so that it fills up the screen nicely? You have your menu bar down the left and your data filling the whole screen so you can see as much data as you need to see. Let me show you how it's done. So here we have a page. Let's quickly look at the page setup. Okay, I've got 1280 width by 800. Theoretically, it should be a bit taller for what I'm trying to create, but 800 is fine for demonstration purposes. It's not set to fixed width. This is very important. And there is no minimum width because we don't actually need it. This is just our admin page. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, well, the first thing I do have is a floating group at the top. So this is a group and it floats above the elements. And when I scroll, it actually stays in position. It's full width at the moment. So just make sure you don't have fixed width set. You want this completely fluid. So let's grab another repeating group. Let's drop it on the left. Let's change the color. Maybe a gray. Maybe like a light gray. That's fine. Now I'm going to position it all the way to the top, all the way to the left. And this is the trick. It needs to be the exact height of your page height. So if that's 800, this has to be 800 or it won't work. Okay, perfect. Now this does need to be fixed width because as a page squeezes, we don't want our menu bar to squeeze. We want it to remain the same width. If it was unchecked, what would happen? It's come too far across. I'm going to increase this page size just so it looks like it's a full screen. I'm going to set that to 1000, nice and clean. I'm going to set this to 1000. It's just because my max screen can take more height. Okay, let's just check this again. What I might do is just remove this bugger bar at the bottom. Okay, so this is not great. But if we set fixed width, there it is, perfect. In position, we're scrolling, it's staying where it is, the header is staying where it is. What if we wanted one on the right-hand side? So at the moment, we're floating relative to the top and the left. What we could do is copy paste, put this on the right-hand side, but then we need to float horizontally to the right and not the left, okay? And I can squeeze this in and out. That's perfect. Okay, I don't want this though. Now what about the content area? So what I'm going to do is group elements in a group and fill the screen area. What I tend to do is make sure that the space over here, which is currently 35, okay, I have this little setting to show distances on hover. If I have that set to 35, then I want this set to 35. That's currently 38. Wrong way. 90, 33, okay. 88. Perfect. Now I'm going to center this. And I'm just going to make this a slight color for demonstration purposes. Maybe a pink color. And I'm going to pull this down, but not all the way to the bottom, just about there. Now the settings on this group, we can call this group content. And again, I've unchecked fixed width, don't have a minimum width, don't have a max width, just set it to the defaults. So that's filling the screen really nicely. How simple is that? Bring this down, squeezing all the way down. It's the admin dashboard, so it doesn't need to be down to mobile phone size. Just we will be looking at this. So the main thing is not to mess with the responsive settings too much, okay? If I set this to fixed width, what would happen? We're at 988 width. And it's sort of pulling to the right-hand side with all of this gap. We don't want that. We want it to be fluid. What if I did want it to stop at a certain stage? What if I wanted to stop slightly sooner, just to stop it spreading all the way across on massive screens? Well, we can actually do that. So then what we would say is apply a max width. Okay, let's just see what happens when we do that. Still not great because it's 100%. Why don't we say 125? Now, the other thing you want to do in your responsive setting is just say fix margin to the left. So stay at this left point, don't push across, start at this left point, and then end it after 125% on the right-hand side. So as you can see, let me actually demonstrate with this set to, say, 100. This is the same setting from the UI Builder Inspector over here, apply max width. Okay, so now you can see it's fixed to the left and it's chopping off to the right-hand side. If we let this go out further to 150, so grow an extra 50% from its current width. Okay, so grow another 400 and something. And now we can see it's growing nicely. Bring this right down back to 100. Remember, we are fixed width to the left. And there it is there. So that's a basic admin dashboard layout. Now your content goes in the floating group and your content goes in that content box. Don't put it outside of the box because the box is the one that is working really nicely with the rest of the design.